last night before bed, I was messing around with my face because I think about 2 months ago, my youngest had an ear infection, and he's very reactive when he has an ear infection. And when I went to the science nosing was that like he had, it's like, hey dude, how's it going? And he reached up and he just grabbed me like, ah, with his thumb actually like hitched on my jawbone and like that. And I just ended up kind of on the floor because my jaws are like a weak spot. And afterwards, I had these they're actually pretty deep because they scraped cuts on my face and they scarred up. And I had saw a video, which I sadly don't, I thought I had grabbed a screenshot of the credits, but suggesting silicone, like bandage tape, that it produces collagen. And I will say, I put it on just for like 10 minutes last night before I went to bed. It kind of made my skin sweat a little bit. And then I did the rest of my facial routine. And I gotta say, it's just a little bit, the top one especially feels just a little bit less flared. And that was just one time. So I think I might give it, a shot of a week. I don't think I could possibly wear it while I sleep, but maybe just putting it over, like, between doing my facial regimen after shower and seeing if it can encourage some filling of that. The doctor who saw it said that it's going to scar, nothing I could do, just don't put products on it. I have put products on it, not like makeup, but I mean I've used like facial serums and stuff. But I do think it looks just a little bit smoother from last night. And once again, went to Amazon, put silicone face tape, got a roll of it that was apparently smashed underneath my husband's Christmas present in the package, which is why I didn't realize it had come for like a couple of days, and put it on, and I think it call me crazy, but the skin just feels good. So I'm gonna try it and see if I can fade it. And I don't mind the scarring; it gives character. But there are times where I might have a rough day, and I might see it, and it might trigger my PTSD. And remembering that time Alistair had an ear infection, and he's nonverbal when it comes to pain. Reaction is his way of telling me he's in pain. So when he's more likely to scratch others or pinch or anything like that, when you get close to him, it means to me as his parent, reading those nonverbal cues, that, okay, what's wrong here? He's got a super high pain tolerance. It runs in the family. So I need to check him a little closer for injuries because I don't have those verbal cues that parents have of, hey, mom, I got an earache. Hey, mom, I have a stubbed toenail. Hey, mom, I've got like a rash on the, thing of my pant line or something like that. My kiddos can't really tell me. So when I see micro changes in the behavior, I will always try to check out and rule out anything medical first. And that's also how I realize that not everyone can see when their kiddo has a ear infection. I mean, I'm using a camera, but when I went into the pediatrics office and told them both eardrums were bust, because I could see it. They're like, you can't see that with your naked eye. I'm like, dude, I have a Google 9, a camera with a super long flashlight, and what I'm seeing is the eardrum is not there. I've seen, if you look online and see the picture of a child's eardrum, you will see like a kind of a little raised ridge of a, kind of looks like this with the smooth of the drum. And what I'm seeing is when my child has an ear infection, that bone here, that thumb shaped kind of groove, will be the thing that's kind of sticking out closer towards the ear hole, with some tendrils of what I assume bits of maybe the drum fragments, some waxiness, and some like little bit of tendrils of blood. One time when I got my kiddo to kind of lay down and show me, a little tiny blood scab fell out, and it wasn't like wax, it was, but I was like, okay. And I realized through multiple times of doing this, if I can see that little raised drum bone thing a little bit closer to the surface with the tendrils on it, that means my kiddo has a ruptured eardrum. We've also talked with his pediatricians and school nurse and his um, medical therapist about it, and our general thought is that he's so small and fine boned that he's taking his pinky and possibly rupturing it when he's got liquid in his ears building up. Those TMJ people know what I am talking about. can't, I mean, I'm always doing my best to foster language, but I still have to deal with behaviors that are like a form of communication and respectfully treat them. So even if it means that, like, my kiddo's way of telling me he has an ear infection is, grabbing, we're still doing therapy. We're still doing, we'll go like, owie, we'll prompt, but language is so much harder for him to do. He And he knows that I know what he wants. So that always gets him like, well, Mom, you know what I want. I'm your precious baby bear. Can't I just have all this stuff? And I'm like, dude, that's great. I know that you know that I know what you want. But there are other people in the world who don't know what you want. And you're going to have to communicate with them. So you got to practice communicating with me. So that way other people will know what you want, because not everyone reads all your minute behavioral changes to know, hey, he might have an ear infection, or oh, hey, he is just really jonesing for some salami, you know. So peace, and yeah, I might keep up with the silicone tape, because that just, it feels so much. There was a little bit of an inner groove from it, with a slight edge to the scar on the top part that felt like just a very thin line of skin that feels so much smoother. So I'm gonna try that.